Right now at 6, a man jumps into action, but is too late to save a teenager swept away by the Columbia's currents.
I just can't stop thinking about that kid and what he must have been going through.
Plus, experts search for answers to an algae bloom that means no swimming along miles of the Willamette.
Then, local cancer care gets a game-changing boost.
Imagine if you made one phone call and there was a caring, compassionate voice on the other end of the line that said, "We got this for you."
And later, what scientists say you may have seen
Space is doing cool things!
shoot across the night sky.
We begin here at 6 with a 16-year-old who drowned in the Columbia River. Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanen.
And I'm David Molko. Vancouver police say they recovered that teenager's body this morning. This was at Frenchman's Bar Regional Park yesterday evening, a popular swimming spot not far from Vancouver Lake.
And that's where we find our Devin Haskins, who is live. Devin, you spoke with a man who says he tried to save the teen.
Yeah, he said he was here and had a really tragic story to tell about how he was here and saw the teen out with his friends trying to swim and then started to struggle and saw him get swept downstream by the currents of the Columbia before he went under.
Frenchman's Bar is a popular swimming spot along the Columbia River, and on hot days like Wednesday, it can fill up.
Quite a few people there for a weeknight.
Alex Watson was there with his daughter on what was supposed to be a fun day along the river, turned into tragedy.
I just can't stop thinking about that kid and what he must have been going through.
He said he saw a group of teens jumping into the river and start swimming, and then noticed one teenage boy struggling.
He got, I think, tired, and so before he even made it to that point where he could rest and hold on to something, the current started pulling him down.
After the boy yelled for help, Watson jumped in, swimming against the current, trying to reach him.
Immediately I felt the current. I was trying to get to him and he disappeared, like when I was probably 30 to 40 feet away from him, just gone.
The river at Frenchman's Bar may look calm, but it also holds a dangerous secret.
The first 10 to 15 feet of water from the shoreline is pretty benign. After that, there's a shelf, it drops off, the current picks up drastically.
Several fire and law enforcement agencies, along with the Coast Guard, started searching for the 16-year-old boy. And on Thursday morning, Vancouver police say his body was recovered.
It's heart-wrenching. My heart goes out to the family and the friends and the trauma that they must feel and the sadness.
Watson says he couldn't sleep last night, constantly recounting what happened right in front of him.
You wish you could have acted faster. It happened so fast. It was probably a matter of 3 minutes, or less.
Vancouver police says the family was notified today that his body was recovered, and we're expecting next week, according to the medical examiner's office, to learn. Back to you.
Devin Haskins along the Columbia, a tragedy for one family this evening. Thank you, Devin. Developing this evening, Multnomah County officials are investigating a suspected heat-related death.
And here's what we know at this point. The man was 59 years old. He was found dead yesterday in the 97233 zip code. That area is in southeast Portland and covers the Mill Park, Centennial, and Rockwood neighborhoods. We won't get official confirmation until the investigation is over in several weeks or potentially months.
Okay, let's turn now to the big change in the weather. Look at that cloud cover. A live look outside on this mild Thursday evening. 79 degrees, give or take, in the Rose City, with showers and rain now inbound.
Celine Stevens is in for Matt this evening. Celine, remind us again. So when are we expecting the rain to move in?
As soon as tonight, after 10:30, that's when we could see those scattered showers pushing through our area. But the real rain comes Friday afternoon. But first, taking a look right now, like you said, those clouds are definitely out there. That said, it was cloudier this morning, and then we got a little bit of a break around noon. Taking a look right now, 78 degrees out there, really nice. Temperatures across the map feeling nice and mild. And the mild temperatures will continue despite the rain. 78 in Troutdale, same story in Vancouver. Other areas also seeing pretty warm temperatures. It's 77 in Cornwallis. Along the coast, we're looking at 60s as well. So again, these temperatures remain mild, which is a great thing, but temperatures have dropped from even this time yesterday, and especially earlier this week when we were seeing temperatures near the triple digits. Now 5 degrees cooler in Portland than this time yesterday, 5 degrees cooler in Hillsborough. Along the coast, that temperature dropped 4 degrees cooler, but it looks like Newport's slightly warmer. But the real story is the rain. Again, those showers moving in overnight. We're looking at 11 p.m. where we could see some of those scattered showers coming through the early morning hours. By 9 a.m., seeing some rain in the Portland area. We get a little bit of a brief break around noon, and then by 4:30, here comes that front pushing into our area, and that's going to bring that heavy and steady rainfall. We could see around half an inch of that. By the time we get to Saturday, that's when we're then dealing with just scattered showers. So for a quick breakdown of your day tomorrow, you start off the day with some showers around 65. By noon, we're drying up just slightly. We're going to be seeing 70 degrees there, and then by 5 p.m., although we're in the upper 70s, the rain has come back full force, and it's going to stick around through early Saturday. We'll talk more in a bit.
Hey, after the 90s, the 70s feel great. Thanks, Celine.
In tonight's headlines, Skamania County detectives are now calling a death in a remote forest a homicide. They found 20-year-old Jacob Daisha of Carson dead near U.S. Forest Service Road 43 last month. Detectives are asking anyone living in the Hemlock and Stabler areas and along Wind River Road to check surveillance video from July 1st to July 20th for any suspicious activity. Call the Skamania County Sheriff's Office if you have any information.
Multnomah County's Chief Operating Officer is launching an independent investigation into how the county handles conflicts of interest. An outside law firm will review policies on hiring and training and evaluate employees who could profit from their positions or be influenced by outside interests. The move follows the recent removal of Preschool for All Director Leslie Barnes after reports her child care center was the focus of a state audit. The county auditor says she hopes the investigation does not duplicate her ethics work that's already been done, and the county will implement her past recommendations.
Well, if your cell phone buzzed around 2 o'clock this afternoon, it likely was an emergency alert from Multnomah County, testing its system ahead of a real disaster. The county said it hoped to reach up to 1 million people. Recent disasters like the flooding in Texas and California wildfires show these type of alerts don't always reach everyone. So if you did not get today's alert, the county wants to hear from you. Text the word alert to the number there on your screen. That is 503-226-5088, and we'll text you right back with a link on how to do just that.
Now at 6, an update on the toxic algae bloom in the Willamette with a boom now partially blocking the entrance to the big trouble spot, the Ross Island Lagoon. Though experts say there's a problem here. It isn't big enough. The river now essentially closed for swimming from Ross Island all the way to Kelly Point Park.
Let's bring in Jake Holter live at Willamette Park. Jake, we tagged along with a researcher today on the water. What did you find?
Yeah, that's right, Christine and David. So the big thing here is, like you said, is that boom that was put in place just recently does not reach all the way across the lagoon's entrance. So experts say it's not really making that much of a difference.
We can't wish this away.
Willie Levinson with the Human Access Project is voicing concern over the current state of the Ross Island Lagoon.
If there's a boom here, it would play some role in helping to contain the bloom inside the lagoon. If it was all the way across, it would also be difficult for boaters to get in, and if there was signed properly, there should not be anybody boating around and making wake in this lagoon right now.
Previous litigation requires the Ross Island Sand and Gravel Company to put in a boom and also skim the surface of the water when there is a harmful algae bloom. But the boom isn't stretching the length of the lagoon's entrance.
The boom has a potential to be effective, but given that it's the current configuration, it's unlikely that it's trapping all the material in the lagoon.
Desiree Tulos with Oregon State University was out on the water Thursday collecting water and sediment samples to study the bloom.
The tide comes in twice a day, and typically when it does, it grabs the cyanobacteria on the surface and kind of drags it back into the river. And so the boom is intended to help trap some of that material here in the lagoon so it doesn't make it into the main stem Willamette.
The Oregon Health Authority is telling people to stay out for now between the lagoon all the way downriver to Wapato Bridge and Kelly Point Park, including the water around Cathedral Park. But Levinson thinks that advisory came too late.
Because if you're able to do an advisory in June and require these things to happen, there's a chance it's never going to get this bad.
And the Oregon Health Authority is also testing the water. Those tests will either confirm the advisory or allow it to be lifted. Back to you.
All right, Jake Holter on the boat ramp at Willamette Park. Thanks, Jake.
Check this out. Jim and Patty's has reopened under new ownership at its former location in Northeast Portland.
Well, Jim and Patty's Coffee People started up 22 years ago, serving coffee and good vibes to people who latched onto the local favorite. At its height, there were 3 locations, but they all shut down late last year. Now it is back, and the new crew says they'll keep serving up favorites like the Velvet Hammer Mocha and the Black Tiger Shake. I gotta look up what that is.
Sounds kind of cool.
Along with some new offerings.
I think it means the absolute world to me. I mean, the big thing that we really want to do is have a positive impact on the community and be a staple for people to come in and just kind of chill out.
Can't argue with that. Jim and Patty's is now back at Northeast 50th and Fremont.
Gotta visit.